My name is Robin Castell, and I'm a multimillionaire since 2008. Now, please know that my wealth is not something I've worked for. I did not crack the code. I wasn't a master genius in mathematics, and I certainly didn't hack into government agencies or federal banks. It has been simply passed on to me when my father sadly died back in 2003. Now, I wasn't always as helpful as I am today, and this is my story. Before my father passed away, he was the chairman at a well-known billionaire hedge fund that has been trading at Wall Street for a few decades. The hedge fund where my father used to work is doing very well at the moment, and my father helped build this company as it exists today. My father was a very helpful and selfless man. They called him the Good Samaritan. As my father passed away, I gained a big chunk of his wealth immediately. At first, I didn't care much because I'd rather have my father with me instead of becoming a multimillionaire. I grieved for a long time. But once I'd accepted his passing, I started spending his wealth in ways you would never imagine. I bought the coolest things out there like it was nothing. I've always been spoiled, but since my father passed away, all control was lost. I bought numerous things without even overthinking it. Lots of things I didn't need or haven't even used. Not just for myself, because I was even spending crazy amounts of money to my friends around me. Obviously, the money didn't feel like it was my own, and that was exactly how I was spending it. After a few months on a real shopping spree, I got lonely. I felt selfish. Obviously, I had friends that were coming over and shared my money with them, but they weren't actual friends. They were just a bunch of people that liked my lifestyle, wealth, and everything around it. I started opening my eyes and saw they were just a bunch of gold diggers exploiting me. I started feeling lonelier by the minute, even though there were plenty of people around me all the time. It was at this exact moment that I started to realize that money doesn't buy you happiness, but it can make things easier. I needed to get myself together to find a purpose, a goal. I kept thinking, what would my father do? As my father was always helping others, I started helping other people out too. First, family and friends. But then I started helping companies, our community, and even complete strangers. I'd never felt so good before in my entire life. People were friendly and asked me many times whether they could help me too. I made it my goal to help others as I learned that good things come to those who make them happen. Unfortunately, I can't keep helping others without having a decent income myself. Someday the well would dry up and my account would be fully depleted. I set another goal for myself: make money myself. I needed money. And you know what they say, it takes money to make money. Luckily for me, I still had plenty of money left, so I wondered how my father would have made money after his retirement. My father always had his laptop with him and had some advanced software that would trade for him on full autopilot. He told me often that this software could be my future. Although he again was only trying to help me, I never paid attention when he tried to explain the software to me. The expert that I hired tried to explain the software to me, but somehow he kept screwing things up. I then asked if there was a way he could simplify things for me, perhaps redesign or reprogram the software so it would be easier to use. After a few weeks, the expert told me that he had redesigned the whole program, enhanced it for easier use, and tested it properly. He came over to explain the software to me, and I laughed as hard as I could. This guy had turned a very complex and advanced software into a window with just 3 commands. All I could see was 1. Deposit, 2. Turn on and off, 3. Amount per trade. Was that really all it took to make money? He said that he thoroughly tested the software and that he eliminated all of the settings that weren't performing optimally. So it all came down to one setting he had used and tested for best performance. I now have a push-button millionaire maker. Here, let me show you the software real quick. After all, I promised you that I would prove it was real, right? As you can